Tell me, are you stunned by what you've just seen?
I'm not stunned. I know that he broke him down, right? He broke him down. He was patient. Daniel Dubois did, for me, looked better. Like landed some good shots in the beginning. It was going back and forth. And he got Usyk's attention, but he was patient. Feints, movement, footwork, it all came together for him.
I feel bad for Daniel. Frank gave it to him on the plate. But
Oleksandr Usyk, whoa! 5th round stoppage of Daniel Dubois. I'm in Las Vegas right now getting ready for the Pacquiao fight. We're watching an all-time great. Oleksandr Usyk is an all-time great. He just dismantled Daniel Dubois, who's 27 in his prime. Usyk, crown the man. I don't want to hear anything, no slander. All-time great heavyweight. Oh my God. Usyk stops Dubois in 5.
you want to hang out, let me start off, yeah. I feel bad for Daniel. And I'm going to say this, yeah, to all the fighters out there. You want to be a killer, you hang out with killers. You train like a killer. Remember that, yeah. Boxing is a combat sport, you understand? It's not about the days of boxing like I used to box 5 years, 10 years ago have changed. This guy is showing you the remedy. It's fit, it makes you work. It's crazy.
Masterclass. We're watching one of the greatest fighters of all time here in Usyk. Fantastic. Punch perfect. Had it a lot to do. Put the fire out. And perfect punches. A master. All in all I can do is an applaud.
I don't know if you know that, but Daniel turned up at half-weight tonight. Do you reckon that may have made any sort of difference?
No, Daniel did a lot better tonight, but he was just in there with a generational great fighter, someone who's going to be remembered for the rest of history. We'll take your hat out to him, that's all he can do.
Just not, oh shit! Dubois hurt. Oh! Dubois got knocked out. I just lost $10,000. $10,000. Ah! Dubois. Ah!
Incredible. Gutted because obviously we want the Brit to win, you know, and Dubois put up a good fight in there.
Do you think Dubois gave up there? He looked like
No, don't do that. Don't do that to him. Usyk was really, I don't know what's even worse. He got knocked out. Do you know what I mean? But he went and he done what everybody wanted to see, which was him attacking in there. Yeah.
Usyk's just one of the best I've seen live. One of the best I've seen live, and what an honour it was to watch him. But Dubois will be back.
What is it about?
What is he? 28. He's young.
27.
27. He's young. He'll be 3-4-time world heavyweight champion of the world.
What is it about Usyk that just makes him so good a level from the rest?
He drains the fighter's mental energy, man. His footwork, his feints, he's unreal, bro. He's unreal.
Do you think Dubois could have got up in the last one? The last knockdown, do you think Dubois could have got up?
He would have been hurt. He would have been hurt regardless. So it's for the better, I think.
The bout between Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk was electric, and fans finally witnessed the moment they had been waiting for. After so much build-up, the biggest showdown of the year did not disappoint. Here are some pro reactions.
No, I don't think it was one-sided. At the end it was. I thought Daniel gave a good account of himself in a couple of the rounds. But, you know, he's an unbelievable fighter, Usyk. Modern day great. And you've got to take your hat to him. In any generation, he'd be a great fighter. And Daniel, I hope you can learn from it. You know, as I say, the better man won on the night.
I'll put you on the spot. Does anybody beat this man in this era?
The only challenger out here, there's two left. My guy Joseph Parker and Adji Caballel. They're the two young, fresh heavyweights who are in form. They're the only challengers left for this guy.
Do you think Dan made a mistake by basically annoying him about, you know, with all the talk about his faith and about the body shot, etc.? Do you think they made a mistake annoying him?
Listen, whatever happened, bro, they were concentrating on the wrong thing. All they had to do was say, we're happy with this situation, round 2, we'll win the fight. That's it. They were going off the scale of body shot, you're a liar and all this for no reason. And what happened now?
He said in the press conference the other day, and I've never heard him say this, he predicted that he'll win by knockout, and he's never done that before.
Yes, mate, I know how he trains. You know, he was confusing Daniel with his legs moving. And when he saw the shot, we saw the in the first round, the double jab, good, beautiful jab.
Does anyone beat him in this era, Derek?
I'll beat him.
Do you think he should fight Parker?
Parker's deserved his shot. I think Parker should get a world title fight regardless, even if Usyk vacates the belts.
Hands off. Usyk fought like a heavyweight, not a cruiserweight in there tonight.
Yeah, no, he did. He stood on business, man. He stood on business, and he said he was going to knock Dubois out, and he done exactly that.
He came to fight, not to box.
Yeah, no, for real. But you could see it all fight week. You could see it all fight week in his eyes and in his persona as well.
How good is Usyk?
Phenomenal. Best heavyweight there is currently, and I don't see anybody beating him.
Is he as good as Muhammad Ali? It's not a crazy thing to say, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't really do the comparisons. Do you know what I mean? But I do think he's one of the best currently now to do it.
Who do you want to see Usyk fight next, or just sail off?
He can sail off into the sunset, and he's done everything. Do you know what I mean? He's phenomenal fighter, man. You're watching him. I'm just watching him. I'm going, oh my god, like that's God-given talent. Yeah, you can't train that.
I don't think we've ever seen Usyk fight with them kind of bad intentions.
Listen, he threw with bad intentions, and he wanted to get him out of there today.
He said in the press conference that he was going to win by stoppage. Are you hoping that he calls your name out?
I hope he calls me out.
Why do you jump in the ring?
The unbeatable Oleksandr Usyk. We'll find out. His next fight will be against Joe Parker. I know, I'll come on to that in a second, but with Daniel Dubois, look, he's 27 years old. He can come again, right? I hope he can. He's got to learn from it. If he don't learn from it, then he won't come again. But it's up to him. You know, it was a tough night for him, a tough night. Is he okay, like, health-wise? He's obviously very, very disappointed. But in terms of, that was brutal, that knockout, Frank. Is he okay? He got up, he got up at 10. He weren't brutal, he weren't poleaxed, he got up.
Veteran promoter Frank Warren also weighed in on the high-stakes clash, saying the outcome would come down to who executed the smarter game plan on the night. He predicted that Oleksandr Usyk would take control early, using his superior ring, IQ and sharp movement to outmaneuver Daniel Dubois. However, Warren added a strong warning: Dubois wouldn't just back down, and his power could change everything in a moment.
Use what he is. He's a big, powerful man. He's got a good boxing brain. He's got a good jab. He's got to go out and control the fight from the first bell. Usyk will come at him in the first round. Usyk will, he'll look to be breaking his heart and taking the fight to him. That's what he'll do. He's not going to stand off him. So it's going to be who can control the centre of that ring.
It's going to be a magnificent fight on a magnificent night. The setting is just phenomenal. Over 90,000 seats sold. Imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like with these two champions in the ring fighting for the four belts, and history, a place in history for Daniel Dubois. He comes through, be the first Brit to ever hold those four belts in the heavyweight division.
Also stepping in was Peter Fury, longtime rival and father of Tyson Fury, who pointed out how Oleksandr Usyk has consistently handled much larger opponents with success, often emerging victorious due to his unmatched versatility. He highlighted Usyk's ability to adapt as one of his most dangerous traits in the ring. Still, Peter didn't hold back from issuing a sharp warning about the risks Usyk could still face.
Dubois probably feels so much confidence, way more confidence than he did going into the first Usyk fight.
Yeah.
Peter, what can we expect?
I think it's going to be a very interesting fight because Dubois got a lot better. So he'll be a different man this time. But I don't know, I just favour Usyk with a defeat. Because look, to land that power, you've got to get there. And you've got to get there against a box of tricks in Usyk.
Fury offered a more balanced take, showing respect for both warriors but giving special praise to Dubois. He called him a strong, gifted heavyweight capable of pushing any opponent to their limits. Still, Fury made his stance clear, firmly stating that Usyk operates on a completely different level when it comes to elite skills and the kind of championship experience that defines legends.
He's been in with big punches, he's been in with the big heavyweights, he's mixed at the top. So I just feel on the sheer experience and just that ring craft what he's got, he'll negate that power. But he's got to be switched on for the full 12 rounds because one slip and the fight's upside down. So this is what I mean. When you're boxing somebody like Dubois, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
So, it'd be interesting.
Lawrence Okolie shared his prediction with some hesitation, calling it a tough fight to judge. Initially, he leaned toward backing Daniel Dubois, believing Dubois might find a way to break through and impose his power in the ring.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I was thinking Dan was going to be able to just get to him this fight, but then I saw Usyk in person yesterday, and I was like, oh, he looks actually. When I saw him, even when he boxed Tyson Fury, he didn't have a big presence. He just seemed like, with this one, he seems a little bit more thick, a little bit more like he's coming for a stoppage himself. So it'll be interesting.
Derek Chisora spoke without holding back about the mindset a fighter must bring when stepping into the ring against Oleksandr Usyk. Speaking from personal experience, he made it clear that technical skill alone won't be enough. Facing someone like Usyk isn't just about boxing. Talent, it's about grit, the will to survive the hurt locker, and having complete belief in yourself when everything is on the line.
Listen, what I'm saying is this, yeah. To beat Oleksandr Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Or to take the fight in the first place.
Chisora pushed back on the idea that Daniel Dubois doesn't stand a chance, saying not every boxing fan might believe in him, but the sport has shown time and again that anything can happen. He pointed to Anthony Joshua's past upset loss as proof, reminding everyone that in boxing, nothing is guaranteed the moment that opening bell rings and the gloves start flying.
Money is on Usyk, but you never know what the Triple D is going to come and do. You know, the last time we sat in the same studios, we had AJ winning the fight. Yeah. And then AJ got clapped out, you know, so AJ had a bad day in the office, so you never know.
Exactly, so, and then remember, so you have to come in there looking to go to the other side, because he's looking to go to the other side.
Another veteran, Tony Bellew, shared his thoughts on the rematch, acknowledging that Daniel Dubois has sharpened his form and grown into a real threat in the heavyweight division. However, Bellew remained firm in his belief that Dubois' confidence would fade once the fight gets underway. He predicted that Usyk's superior class and deep experience would take control early, breaking Dubois down and once again proving the Ukrainian's dominance in the ring. Still, Bellew noted that Dubois is entering a new chapter in his career, now realizing what must be done and understanding exactly what's on the line.
I think Daniel Dubois is now coming to a different stage in his career, where he's understanding now of what needs to be done and what's at stake. I think he's shown that he can overcome difficult times in fights now. And I think the victory over Anthony Joshua is going to propel his confidence levels to an all-time high. So I think he's well in this fight. I think he's a super dangerous challenger. And he'll go into it with a lot of belief. But I believe that belief will get shrunk. As the rounds pass and as the shots start getting landed on him, the questions will be asked of him again. Oleksandr Usyk will be victorious.
Gareth A. Davies echoed the respectful tone shown toward both fighters but paid close attention to Dubois' recent growth. He praised Dubois, pointing out that over his last 3 performances, there's been a clear transformation. According to Davies, the Londoner is no longer simply a promising talent or a future hope. He's now stepped into the ring as a full-blooded, serious heavyweight contender.
The Jarrell Miller fight, through the Hrgovic fight, and then obviously latterly against Anthony Joshua, who really didn't turn up against Daniel Dubois. Obviously, Dubois looked a lot better in those 3 fights, and he's developed. There's no question about it. He's developed as a man, as a person, as an individual.
But Michael Hunter acknowledged that Dubois had the physical tools and real chances to be dangerous, but stressed that raw potential alone isn't enough. He explained that turning talent into victory against such a sharp, seasoned opponent like Usyk is an entirely different challenge, one he believes Dubois isn't fully prepared for just yet.
I think it's that Usyk is very, very good, that I think he'll show that he's got the wherewithal to win for the second time, and I think he'll outbox Dubois as the rounds go on. Dubois will be dangerous early. He'll outbox Dubois as the rounds go on, and I think he may even stop him late, but I think he'll win comfortably on points.
Also weighing in, renowned promoter Eddie Hearn shared his thoughts on the rematch, highlighting Oleksandr Usyk's ice-cold composure and laser-sharp focus. He reminded fans that even in their first meeting, Usyk showed complete control out his opponent without losing his calm. Hearn was confident that no matter how intense the rematch buildup becomes, the Ukrainian will not lose his nerve under pressure, remaining mentally unshaken inside the ring.
I see there's a lot of hope and there's a lot of people in England are picking Daniel Dubois, which is surprising. I think he does a lot better just because of the energy, but I don't see him winning. I think that Usyk just has a little bit more experience. He's obviously older. Daniel, I think, could win if he has the right game plan. You know, he's obviously capable He has the size, and speed, strength, and stuff like that, capabilities. But to be able to implement it in the ring is two different things. So will he do that? I'm not sure. I think he could, though, but he'll come a little bit behind.
Duke McKenzie began by acknowledging that Daniel Dubois is a phenomenal puncher, truly a destructive force in the ring and that gives him a real shot in the rematch. He went further to point out Dubois' changing demeanor, noting that the young heavyweight now carries himself with greater confidence and mental maturity, walking like a man who knows exactly what's at stake and what it takes to win.
Just a stone cold Oleksandr Usyk. Like, you're not going to, I mean, probably the king of fuckery is Tyson Fury in terms of that pre-fight build-up. He's the best to do it. And he couldn't rattle Usyk once. So Dubois screaming in his face really ain't going to rattle Usyk, especially when he's already beaten him. But I do think this will be a sterner test for Oleksandr Usyk this time round, and a different Daniel Dubois that we saw in Poland. And I think it's a very dangerous fight for Usyk, but I just feel, how'd you pick against him?
McKenzie still offered strong praise for Dubois, but made it clear he could only back him if the opponent wasn't Usyk. After studying Usyk's style closely, McKenzie concluded that Dubois would need to turn the bout into an outwar. Raw aggression and violence decide the outcome because trying to outbox the Ukrainian over 12 rounds simply isn't a path to victory.
Of course he's in with a shout because he's a murderous puncher, Daniel Dubois. Yeah, a lot's been made of his newfound confidence and the way that he carries himself and the way that he actually projects himself in public now, which will tell you that he's got a different sort of state of mind. I'm only going to echo what I've said previously. If Daniel Dubois was fighting anybody else, I'd back him to win, 100%. But in Oleksandr Usyk, you know, because when I watch Usyk fight, and I've studied him, you know, he's a cruiserweight coming up to the heavyweight division, but he's carried his cruiserweight speed. Nothing's changed with Usyk. He does the same things at cruiserweight, and now he's doing the same thing in the heavyweight division. So Daniel Dubois, for me, to win this fight, he's got to make it into an absolute bloodbath. He's not going to get a points decision against Oleksandr Usyk because he's not going to outbox him for the 12 rounds.
As the final bell rang and the dust settled, one thing became absolutely clear. This rematch delivered every ounce of drama, intensity, and tactical brilliance fans were hoping for. Daniel Dubois stepped in with fire and purpose, but Usyk responded with the same dominant presence that's made him one of this generation's most complete fighters. From start to finish, it was a battle of heart versus skill, firepower versus precision. Whether you saw it as a gritty war or a masterclass in ring generalship, this fight will be talked about for years to come. So, who do you believe truly earned the crown tonight? Was it Dubois' raw strength or Usyk's unshakable experience? McKenzie still offered strong praise for Dubois, but made it clear he could only back him if the opponent wasn't Usyk. After studying Usyk's style closely, McKenzie concluded that Dubois would need to turn the bout into an outwar. Raw aggression and violence decide the outcome because trying to outbox the Ukrainian over 12 rounds simply isn't a path to victory. Duke McKenzie began by acknowledging that Daniel Dubois is a phenomenal puncher, truly a destructive force in the ring and that gives him a real shot in the rematch. He went further to point out Dubois' changing demeanor, noting that the young heavyweight now carries himself with greater confidence and mental maturity, walking like a man who knows exactly what's at stake and what it takes to win.